What's Poppin' with Cherry Poppins?
Okay. Dr. Peppermint, damn.
I know that there's been a lot of talk in the drag community at large about the classism on Drag Race and the fact that you have to spend a lot of money to go to Drag Race. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, honey, it is, you do have to, you have to. I mean, if you don't spend a lot of money, I just don't know what else to, because even Evie Oddly, like, you could say that she didn't spend no money, that she spent money. Like, you have to look a certain type of way, especially nowadays, to be on that show. Now more than ever. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, you can get away with some things. Hands down, low key. Maybe not so much with Raja there next to you. You probably could, or Manila. Probably couldn't get away with too much. But you got to spend money.
It's into like a fashion show as well.
It's yeah. I think Drag Race has always been a fashion show. Like, low key, I do think it's always been a fashion show because you have people like Tyra and Raven, and then also Raja and Manila and Yara Sophia. They were very much so like the fashion girls, and the fashions were. If you look back, and I implore everyone to go on YouTube and look back because they have all the runways from each season, and you can go back and you can see like these queens were fashion, and it was always and sometimes the fashion kind of saved you from not being in the bottom, i.e. like Tyra in some cases. So it's, or even Raja in some cases. So it's always been that. Money-wise, child, you might as well take out a loan and say a prayer because you're going to be spending money. And even if you have, you can have all the cost. I feel like my wardrobe is well stocked, but baby, A, it's been worn a lot. And B, they send you a list and you have to pretty much go abide by that list. So if they have a purple challenge, you don't have purple, you got to get it, and it has to be remarkable because you do not want to. No one wants to. What queen wants to go up on that runway and look at a mess? No one wants to look a mess on that damn show, especially now we're in high def television. Mama, I'm gonna make sure I get a fantastic fucking primer just to make sure y'all can't clock me.
Do you ever want to be on Drag Race?
Sure. I think a lot of people try to say, oh, I would never do the show or blah, 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 blah. Of course I would do Drag Race. Why would I not do Drag Race? I feel like I work really hard and I would love to get my name out there. I think that's basically what the show is for at this point, is to build your platform. And I'm very blessed with the support and the platform I have now, but there's also a lot of people that don't know who I am, and that I could relate to someone. I can relate to this black kid out there that looks up to me, or this African kid that sees my African drag. So I would love to get on the show. I would, and I feel like I am able and willing to be on the show, and I feel like I can complete the challenge as well. But at the end of the day, it's all about how you're perceived, and also I'm hesitant about the show only because of the fan base. As I was saying this earlier as well, the fan base is very toxic, especially to the black community. So that's one of the reasons why I would just squint a little bit. I'm ready. I want to do it. I have no problems with the show. I have no problems with anything else. I just think that the fan base can really get you. And I have to physically train myself to not look at the comments if I were to ever get on that kind of show.
Or you can just turn them off.
Or I could just turn them off. I feel like that. When people do that, though, it's like, girl. But but that's real. I could do that. But again, I can't turn off the comments on VH1. I can't turn off the comments on when World of Wonder shares it. So it's like, you can't. There's ways that you can see when people hate you. So yeah. And also the death threats and the messages that people receive. It's like that all comes.
It's ridiculous.
It's honestly, very much so ridiculous.
It's also. I feel that there's a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding that happens on Drag Race with people. Like, it's a television show. If
I were to get on, and that's another thing. You and I, we both know what goes into being on Drag Race. We both know that you are quarantined, you are isolated, you have no phone, your eating's monetized, everything is monitored and monetized when you're on that show. So stress levels are high, and then you get in drag at 8 a.m. and then you're in drag all day. All day, you get to the main stage at 8 p.m. and then sometimes you get told how bad you are, how awful you did, blah blah blah. You think you killed it in the challenge, and I guess you might have. I was like, oh baby, I did good in that acting challenge. And I get up there and they were like, you were horrible. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the untucked and be a little saucy. I'm not gonna be like, hi, I'm great. Like, but then if I do get saucy, I'm not an angry black queen. So I need everyone to realize that. Like, just because I get a little saucy sometimes, I can't call my mom, who I love to talk to when I'm feeling some type of way. She calms me the hell down. If I can't talk to her, I can't talk to some of my best ass friends who also calm me the fuck down. What am I supposed to do? I'm gonna go insane. And you can send me a video message from my mom all day, but I need to talk to her.
Beats mass.
Literally, like, but she always just talks me off of like that ledge, that imaginary ledge I'm on, like, because I'm always like freaking out about something, and she always calms me. That she said the stepmother's voice that always calms me down. So if I can't have that in a competition when I'm stressed the hell out and I'm around all these, I can't even have sex. I can't do anything. It's rough.
You can touch yourself though. I
mean, we all do that in quarantine. Hell, it's rough. Unless
we are training ourselves for Drag Race then, honey. Oh.
She's a from here up queen. All these quarantine queens now, y'all, we are from here up only, and it's real. And let me tell you, I've never felt so comfortable doing drag in my whole entire life. Because as you know,
I haven't gone in so long. It's been fantastic.
Well, it's been like that for a while, and then now Iris and I started to turn out again on location where we stream live. No one's there, but we were on location. So I get into pads and heels
boxers,
and stuff.
Right?
It's now called Jocks.
Oh yeah, you guys had all that drama happen, right?
It is now called Jocks, and that's all I legally have to say about the matter.
Yeah?
But I will say that Jocks is now newly owned, and it's all black and gay owned. So it's really, really nice.
That is steps in the correct direction. I'm glad that is happening for you guys, because I remember seeing that and clutching my imaginary pearls. So we met at Miss Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, we did.
Do you have any plans to come back into the city once all of this is over?
So, I enjoyed doing Miss Hell's Kitchen. Let me start saying that. I think that I was treated fine. I shout out to Nomi Sass. I fucking love her. Vinny, my old college boo. But you were there, so you know that Vinny was my dresser, and Nomi Sass was my dresser, and that meant the world to me, because we go back all the way back to WERRRK. So I've been knowing Vinny for quite a long time, and the answer to your question is I'm going to say no, only because I realized that pageants were not for me. I'm not a quote unquote a pageant kind of a queen. I know I can present myself in that way and sometimes, but I just don't necessarily like the whole competition aspect. I'll do Drag Race because it's on a national television show, obviously. But I still don't remember I went into Miss Hell's Kitchen being like, I'm just going to do it. And this is way before I was booked for shows or anything. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. And then when I did it, after the presentation, I was like, oh no, mama, now I have to win. Like at first I was like, oh, who cares? And then after I got that good reception from presentation, I was like, oh no, bitch, I'm winning this. And I mean, I did well, but I just feel like the whole rushing aspect, I mean, it was a lot. And you saw me, I was
stunning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. But I was switching up. I don't wear nails. I'm like RuPaul. I don't really wear nails. I was gonna throw in some nail polish when I was running late. So I literally don't like you. Your nails look lovely. You better work. But for me, that's just not who I am. So I know that I had to wear nails. I was sitting up there changing my face like this. Like, what am I, like, hold brushes like this? It was such a mess. It challenged me. It gave me strength. It had me meet you, Honey Davenport. It got me closer with Tina Burner. And that was amazing. And I want to say shout out to Tina, because Tina pulled me aside and helped me a lot and actually helped save my gown because there was something was wrong with it. So shout out to people like Tina. And then from there, I was booked weekly at Industry. So Miss Hell's Kitchen did bring out something good. And also, of course, like I said, I met you all. And, and Senegal is amazing too. So it was all a great experience. I just don't necessarily think I'm going to do it again, because I just don't think I am that kind of queen. Now, if I do it again, we'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm going to say no now, but you never know what could happen in the future. And I'm a Gemini, and I change my mind quite a bit. So,
I mean, just so you know, I'm always on Team VinChelle. If you ever need anything, I got you, girl.
I know, and that's one thing I want to say, everybody. I want to thank Cherry so much, because I remember, in New York, like when I first came there, I don't know if I should say this on live, but in New York, ooh, I might get shit for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to say it anyway, because you know what, F it. We're in quarantine, so don't forget about it all, but we're back. But in New York, sometimes you get met with a lot of queens that feel like they are above you. And that's just what it is, and this is something that happens, especially when you're a Philly queen, as we've been called, as Iris and I have been called before. Sometimes we get that. Obviously, you know, the cast members at shows aren't like that. Obviously, industry bars not like that. Obviously, you're not. But there are queens that come to industry at shows and say, well, why are these Philly queens every week? Why can't I be every week? You know, we have all that. We got that, and I get it, because I know when someone comes on my turf, I can be a little territorial as well. That's just the human nature of life. It is what it is. So I'm not saying it's right. It's just the human nature of life. And I do think that New York, a majority of the New York queens have that air about them. And this is me just being 110% with you. And you were not like that. And it was really good to it was really like refreshing to find some people that aren't like that and that treat Iris and I and put Iris and I on the same level as everyone else. And I appreciated people like you and Carrie and Juicy and Tina and Chris Dunbar in industry. They all put Iris and I on that same platform. And I definitely humbly appreciate that. So I want to shout out to Cherry, because Cherry and I go back to when I first started at industry. Right before I was working at Rebar. We won't talk about that, but I was working at Rebar.
Yeah, and you deserve everything.
Oh my God, like, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you so much for being on the first episode of What's Poppin'. And I'm so excited to see you after all the shit's done, girl.
Me too. I am so excited. And I thank you for allowing me to come on and talk to you. And I thank you for, lifting my voice up and always being on my side. And I'm appreciative to be your first guest. I typically like to be a guy's first, so I definitely appreciate it.
How do I do this? Stop recording.